Rumpelstiltskin, the secret name. Long ago, in a faraway kingdom, lived a humble miller who had a beautiful daughter named Elara. The miller often bragged about Elara's beauty and grace. One day, trying to impress the king, he foolishly claimed that Elara could spin straw into gold. The king, greedy for riches, ordered Elara to the castle at once. King Aldred locked Elara in a tall stone tower filled from floor to ceiling with straw. A wooden spinning wheel sat in the center of the room. He commanded, "Spin this straw into gold by morning, or your life is forfeit." Poor Elara wept, for she had no idea how to perform such magic. As the moon rose high, a strange little man appeared in the tower. His eyes sparkled with mischief, and his grin was sly. "Why do you weep, fair Elara?" he asked. She explained her impossible task, and he offered, "I will spin the straw into gold, but what will you give me in return?" Desperate, Elara offered her necklace. The little man agreed and set to work. Round and round the wheel spun, and by morning every straw was transformed into shining gold. When King Aldred returned, he was astonished at the glittering treasure. Yet the king's greed only grew. He brought Elara to a larger room with even more straw than before. Once again, he demanded, "Spin this straw into gold, or you shall perish." Elara's heart sank as the heavy door locked behind her. That night, the little man returned, rubbing his hands with glee. "What will you give me this time?" he asked. With tears in her eyes, Elara offered her golden ring. Again, he spun the straw into glittering gold by dawn. But King Aldred was still not satisfied. He took Elara to the grandest chamber yet, piled high with straw that reached the ceiling. "Spin this, and you shall be my queen," he declared. Left alone again, Elara felt more hopeless than ever. Once more, the little man appeared. "What will you give me, my dear?" he asked. Elara had nothing left to offer. At last, she whispered, "If I become queen, I will give you my firstborn child." The little man grinned wickedly and spun all the straw into gold. True to his word, Rumpelstiltskin spun the straw into gold by morning. When King Aldred saw the gleaming treasure, he was overjoyed. He kept his promise and made Elara his queen. The kingdom rejoiced, though Elara carried a heavy secret in her heart. Years passed, and Queen Elara grew into her royal life. At last, she bore a beautiful baby boy. The whole kingdom celebrated the prince's birth with joy and feasting. But on a quiet night, the little man returned to claim what was his. Rumpelstiltskin stood before Queen Elara with a sly grin. "Now, my queen, give me the child you promised." Elara clutched her baby tightly and begged, "Please, take anything else, but not my child." But the little man shook his head. At last, the little man softened. "Very well," he said. "I will give you 3 days. If you can guess my name, you may keep your child. But if you fail, he shall be mine." With a laugh, he vanished into the shadows. The next day, Queen Elara sent messengers across the land to gather names. When the little man returned, she guessed every name she knew. Is it Thomas? Is it Cedric? Is it Alaric? But each time, the little man only laughed and said, "No." On the second day, Elara tried again. Is it Oliver? Is it Leopold? Is it Bran? The little man laughed louder than before. "No, no, and no," he cackled. With every wrong guess, Elara grew more desperate. On the third day, one of Elara's messengers returned with news. He had wandered deep into the forest and spied the little man dancing around a fire. As he danced, he sang, "Tonight, tonight, My plans I'll win, for none can guess Rumpelstiltskin. When Rumpelstiltskin came to the castle that night, Queen Elara stood tall. She smiled calmly and began, "Is your name Bartholomew? Is it Tobias?" The little man grinned proudly, waiting for her to fail. At last, Queen Elara looked him in the eye and declared, "Your name is Rumpelstiltskin." The little man's face turned pale, and he let out a furious scream. He stomped his foot so hard that the floor cracked beneath him. Rumpelstiltskin howled with rage, leaping about in fury. "No, no, how could you know?" he shrieked. In his anger, he tore at his clothes and spun in wild circles until he vanished into the ground, never to be seen again. Queen Elara hugged her baby tightly, tears of joy streaming down her face. King Aldred rejoiced as well, though he never knew the full truth of the tale. The people of the kingdom celebrated their queen's cleverness and courage. And so, Elara and her child lived happily, free from the little man's trickery. The story of Rumpelstiltskin spread far and wide, reminding all that courage, wit, and love could overcome even the darkest bargains. And the kingdom lived in peace ever after.